For 20 years, our house has experienced a lot.
He's back! Are you kidding me?
Triumph, defeat, heartbreak, euphoria. It's been home to legends, and legends in the making. We've watched homegrown kids grow up here and welcome friends who became family.
The ballpark is in a frenzy!
Like our fans, this place has developed a reputation. And that's just the way we like it. In a city bursting at the seams with history, our house has had its fair share.
Howling drive, way out of here!
Grand slam, Victorino! The Philadelphia Phillies are going to the World Series!
But it's not time to harp on history.
It's time to make more history.
He's gonna just watch it go!
Our team story is not done.
Never say die, Tom.
It's barely been written.
Something's brewing with this team, John.
We're here for the long haul and the long ball.
That one is gonna be long gone!
It's been a fun 2 decades,
Son of a gun, I love this place.
but this is the only looking back we're doing
With a rainmaker!
because we're tired of knocking on the door. It's time to kick it down.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Sorry in Advance. I hope everyone is trying to stay as cool as possible out there because it is a hot one. The temperature I saw today got up to like 106 apparently here in New Jersey, in southern New Jersey. That is why I am kind of doing a little solo show tonight. Scott unfortunately has to work outside, so he was a little tired, so no big deal. I have the luxury, I guess, of working inside, anyway, gonna jump right into it here with, ironically enough, who knew that we'd be talking any Flyers anytime soon, even with the draft this Friday. But wanted to throw this out there that the Flyers traded for Trevor Zegras from the Anaheim Ducks. It was actually funny when I saw this. It made me think, kind of like, okay, we got Jamie Drysdale for not much, who was could be a top defenseman, and now you have Trevor Zegras, who was a number 9 pick. Who was a number 9 pick in God, why do I see it? It's like I have all the information in my head, and then when I get on the show, it's just like, yeah, let's just forget everything, because what's the point in remembering anything? But he was a 2009 number 9 pick, by the Ducks. It reminded me, I actually said to my brother, of like how the Phillies kept doing business with Houston, with Ed Wade. How it was just like, yeah, we'll just trade with you and just take all your players. It's fine. So Flyers traded for Trevor Zegras, who can be a stud. I mean, has the potential to be a stud. I like the trade. I know some people I saw were kind of back and forth. I know I went on the Ducks page, Twitter, and saw a lot of people not happy at all. Some people were telling them, hello, mother, telling them to sell the team, get a new owner, get a new GM. You guys are garbage. When are you going to start winning? When are we going to get somebody who cares about winning? It just kind of made me laugh. I'm like, all right, so I think we kind of won this trade, especially for the fact that, like, we didn't give up any of our first round picks, which I believe we have 3 this year. We gave up Ryan Poehling, which I liked Ryan Poehling. He definitely fit well here. Was definitely a grinder of a player. Just always seemed to do anything you asked him. Was cheap, I'll put it that way. Made under $2 million, where compared to Trevor Zegras, who is making, I think, close to 6, like $5.75 million. I don't even care, because I really feel like, hey Donna, how are you? I feel like the capability of Trevor Zegras and Milan Michkov on a line, the way that I was able to compare it, now, granted, this might have been a reach, but it just had shades of, people who, they're obviously younger. But when Peter Forsberg signed with the Flyers, and then he was on a line with Mike Knuble and Simone Gagne, And Gagne just went on an absolute tear. I'm pretty sure, if I remember right, that was the best season of Gagne's career. With the capability that Trevor Zegras has in his passing game, and we've already seen flashes of what Mitchkov can do, that would be an unbelievable line. Zegras, it's going to be interesting to see what they do. And I know Danny Briere said in his press conference, like, that he's came up through, as a winger, but then the Ducks wanted him to play center, and he was good. He had 2 of his best offensive seasons as a center, but his face-off percentage was just awful. He was not good at face-offs. And then I feel like, so you could move him back to a wing, which would be interesting, with him and Mitchkov, whether he plays wing or center. But again, it's who would be that third person on that line. So you have definitely some opportunity. He's a restricted free agent after this year. So you're hope to re-sign him. And the funniest part of it all was that him and Jamie Drysdale are like ridiculously close. I meant to bring up the quote that he had, which was really kind of strange. I don't know if anybody saw this, but like, I guess before, that obviously they played in Anaheim together. Basically said, that they did everything together. I'm trying to find the quote, and I apologize that I didn't have it up already. Again, he said, let me just share this page because it really made me laugh. I kind of was just like, well, that's pretty detailed. So if you can see, he said, we pretty much do everything together. We pee together, we get injured together, we sleep together. It was good to push each other. And as soon as I saw that, I thought, what? that was a strange comment, if to say the least. But I am, let me get this back up here. I am very excited about this trade and the prospect of what it could turn into. I mean, the only thing is that he has been injured, which might be why Anaheim was perfectly fine trading him for what they got, because a lot of people, like I said, were not happy with this trade on Anaheim's side. I like I said, I like Ryan Poehling, but we have 3 first-round draft picks, and we traded them a 2025 this year for a second-round pick and a 4th-round pick next year. That, to me, is a steal for the upside of Zegras. Now, again, with him being injured, like last year, he was out from, let me see, December 6th through January 22nd with a knee injury. The year before that, he broke his ankle. The year before that, 23 to 24 is one season, blah, blah, blah. So last year in the season from December 26, 2024 through January 25, he had a knee injury. The season before that, he was out from the January 11th through March 26th. So, I mean, over 2 months with a break on ankle. I get that. It's hockey. The same season, he was out with a lower body injury for like a month. So it seems like I will take him. Don't worry. Don't get me wrong. But like when he's out, these last 2 or 3 injuries, he's been out for a long period of time. Broken ankle, obviously, in hockey is going to keep you out in any sport. But it seems to be like 2 pretty significant injuries. But he's 24. How do you not be excited about that? How do you not see get excited for an upside of him? And it is a huge deal. I think it really, and from everything I'm reading about what Danny Briere said, that they are not done. This is the time. The Flyers have been rebuilding for the last few years. You got Milan Mitchkov 2 or 3 years early, and I think that really accelerated things. I'm not sure you make this move if Mitchkov wasn't here. And who knows how things would have turned out with Tortorella. I think me personally, I didn't mind Tortorella, but he was here for try and keep the team moving, on the upside, and it just seems like, they still finished dead last, and just, I think personally, it seems like Mitchkov was starting to kind of stall out a little bit. Granted, it was his first year, I get it, but he was having a great year. And then this, like the day that they fire Tortorella, Mitchkov went on a tear and scored like 4 or 5 goals to end the season. I wish it worked out because I think Tortorella could have been good, but he wasn't the same style of coach he used to be. No more scream at the players and all this stuff. I mean, it's just some shades of him were there, but not the same. It seems kind of problematic. Just got to hope he stays healthy. 100%, Donna. 100%. Just hope he stays healthy. And again, here's my thing. You're on a team like Anaheim who, God, I don't even know because I didn't care once we traded Cutter Gauthier to them where Anaheim finished last year. So Anaheim finished, let's see, 35 and 37. They had 80 points. So they were, I mean, not anywhere great, but I mean, they weren't in a playoff position, obviously, So let me see. Let's go to conference. In the Western Conference, they finished 12th. So they were 5 spots from last. I mean, here's the funny thing is Anaheim was 35 and 37 with 80 points and finished 5 spots from last, from last place. The Flyers finished dead last and were 4 points less than the Ducks. That shows how competitive I think the Eastern Conference is. Because I mean, you figure where there, everybody was really in it until the last 2 weeks. Like the Columbus Blue Jackets missed the playoffs by 2 points. Detroit missed it by 5. The Rangers by 6. Islanders just, I don't know what the hell happened to them at the end of the year. But the Eastern Conference was tight. So that I think this is exciting. And then the other thing that really is it could be exciting is that the other Russian player, oh my God, I'm trying to think of his name, and it's a weird name. That's why it's a Russian name, so it's very hard to remember them all. With excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm used to somebody being on with me so that I can take a break and have a drink of water or something. Shabanov, Maxim Shabanov, who again is another 24-year-old player. Supposedly is another stud. That he's going to sign here. Supposedly it's they can't sign until July 1st, but everything that I'm reading is showing that he is going to be coming here, which I think is going to be an additional huge move for this team. You have gotten so much younger already, and now you trade for Trevor Zegras, who's 24. You're going to get Maxim Shabanov, who last year scored 23 goals and had 67 points in 65 games. So if he can pass, which that is what Trevor Zegras is good at too. Excuse me. You could have an absolutely stud of a first line. Like you really could. Add on to the fact that we have Milan Michkov, who's 20. Just turned 20. I don't even care. He's 20 years old. And then last year, somehow didn't get one first place vote in Rookie of the Year. Comes in his first year, scores 26 goals, 37 assists for 63 points. Granted, he was minus 18. I don't care. Your first year on the ice. Or first year on the ice in the NHL. 8 power play goals. There's so much upside to him that I don't know how you can't be excited for this upcoming season in general or the future of the team. I feel like you have to sign Jamie Drysdale. I know he was out for a little while, but again, I like him so much. And I agree, I like Ryan, but I get it. They got to do what they have to do. Yeah. I did like Ryan Poehling. He was a great player for this team, a third or fourth liner, but the Flyers have so much in the minors now. They have Bonk. They have the other thing too is like you figure they have 3 first-round picks. They might keep them all and draft people. Like they have. That's what makes this so amazing that they traded for Zegras is that they didn't give up a first-round pick. They have 3 different people that would not be bad picks if they took it with the number 6, which I hate the fact that they got the number 6 and that a team that didn't have as good as odds as us got a number 1. I really hate that. I don't think they trade anything to move up. It doesn't, they could, but I don't know. I think you need to look at another forward, defense, or once again, the Flyers history and trying to go take a goaltender. But we'll see what happens with that. I did hear rumors too that they were looking at Jake Allen from New Jersey. I don't know. Like they already said that I think Fedotov is going to stay down in the AHL, if I remember right. It's I don't think they'll trade him. I don't know, but it's going to be important to go after a goaltender, obviously, because it's been their problem for forever. When we thought Carter Hart was the answer, we all know what's going on with that right now. When you had who is going to end up being one of the best goaltenders ever in Bobrovsky, just won back-to-back Stanley Cups, is just a Hall of Famer. Somebody posted it the other day when I responded like jokingly. I was like, I don't remember who they got, and they told me. I'm like, again, I don't even know who they are. If they, even if I did, they're probably not here, which I know Stolarz isn't. He was on Toronto. So anyway, good for the Flyers. I never thought I would spend more than 5 minutes talking to them, and here I am, almost 18 minutes into a show talking about them. So, next little thing I wanted to kind of talk about was that Whit Merrifield announced his retirement. I really liked Whit Merrifield. Obviously, he didn't do good here. Hence his post, which I really liked. I couldn't be mad at him for this. He said, Philly, I liked you way more than you liked me. Sorry, I stunk for you. Hey, what am I going to say to that? You weren't good. Went to the Braves and did really good after we released him. Kudos to the Phillies for releasing him and not hanging on to him and dragging it out. But, I feel like I wanted Whit Merrifield for years. I begged the Phillies to go after him when he was still really good with the Royals. He's 36 now, but the Phillies had him when he was 35. It sucks. Like with the Phillies, he hit 199, 3 home runs, 11 RBIs. Granted, he was coming off of a year with Toronto where he hit 272 and had, 11 home runs and 67 RBIs. And he hit 9th, I think, most of the year, if I remember right. The Phillies team, and we've seen it these last few years, is just an odd thing that there's no, I don't even know how the hell to put this. It's like anybody can bat anywhere in this. No, anybody does bat anywhere. They shouldn't. The constantly switching out leadoff hitters. Kyle Schwarber batting first, second, fourth. Always moving around. Bohm batting third, fourth, fifth. JT moving around to sixth. Castellanos randomly bats. It's just again, there's never a set lineup with this team. And I feel like that's what Whit Merrifield. I don't know if they signed him to be a starter. He played 53 games with us and only 42 with Atlanta. So I don't know what it was to be here. He didn't have a spot to start here. You had Alec Boehm, you had Stott, you had Turner. So I really wish it worked out. But all in all, what, he played 9 years? That's a hell of a career. He led the league in hits in 2018 and 2019. I loved him with Kansas City. I really did. And he could have played anywhere too. He played so many different positions. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Like, I mean, even when he played with Kansas City, he played second. I think mostly he played. Why does this website suck now? Can't just give me an easy answer. I just want to know. He did pitch too. He did pitch for Toronto once. Excuse me. But I mean, he in his career, even here, I'll put just for us. Just for us, he played left field, third base, and third base. But I mean, for his whole entire career, he played second, left field, right field, DH, played first, center, and third, and pitched once. He really was the definition of just a utility player. And I really like Whit Merrifield. Didn't work out here, but it is what it is. It's baseball. We signed him to a $7 million deal. We released him and paid him $1 million this year for the buyout of his contract. So that good for him. Good long career. And what sucks too, I feel like, is that I don't think he was on the World Series team, which kind of sucks. Because I'm trying to remember when they won the World Series. I'm just drawing a blank. Royals World Series. Was it like 2015? Yeah, he didn't get called up until the year after they won the World Series. So that kind of sucks for him. But still. Congrats on Whit Merrifield for retiring. Good career, decent career. The other thing that we wanted to talk about, now we'll get to the Phillies because they are playing right now in Houston. And I hate how close this camera gets to my face. I don't need to see me this close. Is the series against the Mets was a good 2 of 3 games. When we 6 games. Well, the last few games that we played, I'll take all of them. So, I mean, we took 2 of 3. Game 1, Zach Wheeler just was a stud. The issue I have with the first game, which is one thing I feel like I'm noticing a little bit more about Wheeler, is his pitch count gets up quick. He was at like 60, 70 pitches in the 4th. And that is what worries me. It worries me that he gets that high in pitches so early, and it really seems to be such a common thing. That he went 5 innings, gave up 4 hits, and 0 earned runs. He had 8 strikeouts and 3 walks and 4 hits. Somehow didn't get the win after turning in a performance like that, which is weird to me. Taijuan Walker came in, gave up 2 runs, so there's your tie game, and then we ended up getting to him later. But the Phillies, the Phillies scored 2, and then because Walker, when Wheeler finished the 5th inning, we immediately gave up the 2 runs, so he doesn't get the win, which sucks. But then the Phillies scored 6 in the 7th. And they did a lot of it, especially with this heat, without hitting home runs. Otto Kemp hit, who's been doing all right. He slowed down quite a bit, but Brandon Marsh, ironically, coming through. Trey Turner has been coming through. Alec Bohm came through. Nick Castellanos singled and then had a home run later in the 8th. It's a complete team effort, which is, surprisingly, Brandon Marsh has been pretty good lately. Game 2, they sucked. But the thing with that is they had Mick Abel pitching, which to me was the only game I was really concerned about because you're facing a good team, and that is what kind of worried me. Mick Abel gave up 4 earned runs. And then Joe Ross came in and gave up 3. The Mets beat us 11-4. And Michael Mercado was sent down right after the game. And, he gave up another 3 earned runs. But I'm just simply saying 7 earned runs from your first 2 pitchers. 4 of them were Mick Abel. He gave up 4 home runs. 3 of them were back-to-back-to-back. And that was from Nimmo, he gave up in the first inning, but then he gave up one to Lindor, Nimmo again, then Soto, and then Soto had another one. I don't care. That game to me, I was just like, I don't know whether to say I was expecting the loss, but just say I don't want to talk about it. Game 2. Yeah, that it's like trying to be nice about it, but I'm like, that game sucked. So yeah, good idea, Donna. That game sucked. On to Sunday, which I got to go to. My wife was nice enough; she got me tickets for Father's Day. That game just showed what good pitching can do. Game 1 and Game 3 really was the Mets scored 3 runs off of and then off our rookie they scored 4, but our bullpen was not good. In the heat too, it was hot. It's a 7:00 game on a Sunday night. It was hot. I was sweating the whole entire time during that game, just standing there. I can't imagine what they were going through playing. I know it's a lot hotter on the field. Jesus Luzardo was ridiculous, and seeing him in person too made it that much better. And I didn't get a chance to send the video. Damn it. Anyway, Jesus Luzardo went 6 2/3, only gave up 3 hits, 1 walk, and 7 Ks. My favorite strikeout was the one to Pete Alonso, because Alonso thought he walked on a 3-1 pitch, and he didn't. It was a strike, and then got him looking on another pitch he thought wasn't a strike, and it was. It was on the low out, bottom outside corner. Romano came in for an out, got everybody. Lazar came in, gave up a run. Strom came in, shut the door. Cool. Peterson, I really was worried about. I'm not even going to lie. I was really worried about David Peterson, because I feel like especially Schwarber, has trouble off of him, and kind of showed it because he struck out his first at bat. But then let me see. In game three was for you. They heard you have a good game. And then Donna said, because fuck Alonso. I like it. The funny thing was, my wife and I are standing there, hanging out on the high tops, lining the third baseline and all. And I just said, I was like, I'm feeling a Schwarber bomb right here. Boom. Center field crushed it. Absolutely crushed that ball. Then Otto Kemp came in, singles to left field. That one, I think, is the one, if I remember right, went off of Francisco Lindor's glove. And then I don't know what made me do it, and I'll have to bring it up next time, is that I pulled out my phone with 2 men on, and I was like, what's funny? I was like, Edmundo Sosa always performs whenever he plays. So I pulled out my phone, boom, second pitch, recorded his home run. And that thing was crushed too, to right center, into the bullpen. That thing was absolutely crushed. And then Lindor homered in the 8th, whatever. No one cared at that point. But as of right now, the Phillies are in sole possession by a game and a half in first place. Now, here was something I saw by Jeff Kerr, who I actually checked his Twitter just to kind of scroll back to see how much he's been talking about the Phillies. Quite a lot. Or posting just things about them. Here is one of my favorites. This was yesterday. The Phillies have not had Bryce Harper for 21 games. Donna said, but you didn't put any bets on it. Donna, if I'm being honest, I haven't bet on baseball in like a week and a half, because the Phillies have been doing good. And I won't. 1, because I suck. And 2, because I just feel like I can't bet on the Phillies. It's just nothing good happens, because if I lose the bet but they win, I'm still miserable because I lost the bet. If they win, or if I win the bet but they lose, then really I'm just still pissed off. So Jeff Kerr put out, the Phillies have not had Bryce Harper for 21 games, Aaron Nola for over a month, out for likely another month, Jose Alvarado for a month, and they are still 47-31 and sit in first place in the NL East, on pace to win 98 games. And he put, they're good, folks, because if you listen to 94, if you listen to a lot of other things, a lot of people say, like, are the Phillies even good? They haven't beaten any good teams, blah, blah, blah. Well, then when they come in and they beat good teams, well, it's because of this. And this isn't just a Philly thing. This is an all sports thing. There's going to be people that are going to talk shit on all the teams. I get that. Case in point, when we went, there was a Mets fan sitting in front of us who wanted to sit there and just talk smack and whatever. It didn't bother me. I'm fine. But then like fifth inning came and they lost, boom, up and left. And I'm like, no. Like you can't leave. You know, you got to stay. You were talking all smack, and now that your team's losing, and the only reason I say that is because we all saw what the Mets offense could do in this game too. Because I posted that on the Phillies fan group page, saying, "How you going to leave?" And a bunch of people were just like, "Well, that's like any fan base," and I'm like, "Right." But for one, you paid the ticket, and if you're not from around here, really, I would just suck it up. The other thing I was just thinking is I'm just like, I don't understand why you want to sit there and talk all that, but 5-0 with the offense that you have, that you just showed that you have, why would you leave? 5-0 is nothing to the Mets offense of what they have the potential for. Granted, they were on a 7-game losing streak until the second game. So it's just like, really, why would you leave? But he made the right decision in the end. I mean, you know. But at the same time, it's just you paid for the ticket. I mean, I left in like the 7th and they were winning. That's because I want to beat traffic. I want to go home. So anyway, here, and I also wanted to share this. So here is Jeff Kerr's actual Twitter page. Excuse me, sorry. I just want to show all the things that he has actually been. Oh, let me get rid of my face. I want to get rid of my face. Look, see, this is me still learning, you know. Stop. Sorry. Slacking, everybody. Just slacking. I must be new here. Let me zoom in a little bit. So here is where it all starts. So the Phillies starting pitching. I love this one. Will not be entertaining bad opinions on the Phillies today. Look at all these things, these facts that he is stating. Starting pitching is 283 in June, best in majors. This is exactly what I just read to you. Top team batting averages in baseball. The Phillies are 7th in runs per game, 4.73. But the Phillies have the second best batting average in baseball. Would you ever expect to see the Dodgers at number 1, but with a 264 batting average? Like, I don't. 2 guys left on base. Mom, I'm not watching. So they'll be fine. I know, she's mad. It's fine. She'll live. But who would have expected that? One, the Phillies would have had a 258 batting average, but the Dodgers have a 264, only a 264 batting average. And if you look at that NL West, that is not something to that the Dodgers should or are taking lightly. They are 3.5 games, you know, in first place. But I'll tell you what, the Giants, especially with their trade for Devers, the Giants are 3.5 back. The Padres are 5.5, and the Diamondbacks are 7.5. That is not a easy division. That officially took over the toughest division in baseball. Anyway, so Mom says it's getting old. It's not getting old. We're used to it. Anyway, there are 3 teams that have a 600 win percentage in baseball: the Phillies, Dodgers, and Tigers. And then, not that. There have been, where is it? Kyle Schwarber versus left-handed pitching. 278, 12 home runs, 20 RBIs this year. He's actually doing a little bit worse, but still. Most home runs versus left-handed pitchers. Kyle Schwarber. Bryce Harper. You have to look. It was fun going through this and just seeing everything that he's putting. Most home runs versus left-handed pitchers the last 2 seasons. Kyle Schwarber is beating Shohei Ohtani. Bryce Harper is 2 behind Shohei Ohtani. 3 Phillies pitch starters have an ERA lower than 2 in June: Wheeler, Ranger, and Sanchez. Here is my one thing that he posted that is worrying me. Again, I talked about it with the teams and with with people playing multiple positions. Is Otto Kemp is going to be in left field tonight. That I'm not crazy about. The whole thing with Buddy Kennedy being called up, really, I don't understand, because he kind of, I don't want to say forced his way up, but with the way that some contracts in the MLB work, there's a clause in there that he can say either call me up or give another team an opportunity to sign me, which he did. But the Phillies didn't want to lose him, so they called him up and sent Weston Wilson down. And I'm like, Buddy Kennedy hasn't been up this year, and Weston Wilson has been up for like a week or two. And again, I just don't understand the mentality there. You're literally calling him up to play when you should be having Otto Kemp play more, which he has been. He's been starting every game, whether it's at third, which they were for a few games, and then they moved him to first. And now he's in left field. I'm like, I don't understand what you're trying to do. Please do not turn Otto Kemp into another Scott Kingery. Like, I'm not saying give him one set position now and then that's it. But I'm saying you need to look at where he's best at. And don't have him up just for the sake of having play other positions, just to force somebody in there that shouldn't be in there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I really don't know what the end goal is with Buddy Kennedy and why they're just like, oh, we really don't want to lose him. Why? Because he's a home kid, like he's from the area. I don't know. That really just kind of annoyed me a little bit, because are you just calling people up just for the sake of calling them up because they want to? My last little thing that I wanted to talk about was, here real quick. Let me get to the MLB probables, because I know the Phillies. It's Ranger versus Framber Valdez right now. Excuse me. Zach Wheeler tomorrow versus Colton Gordon, and then Christopher Sanchez's 2:00 game against Hunter Brown. Christopher Sanchez is having a great year. Hunter Brown is having an even better year. Hunter Brown has been so up and down that really I was just like, man, I wonder like what's going to happen with him. He has been ridiculous this year. Framber Valdez has been very good too, but Hunter Brown, damn man, he's been coming out of nowhere. I like the flashes were good. I'm not saying he wasn't good, but he's wow. He's 8-3 with a 1.88 ERA and 109 strikeouts. That's great. And then we go to a 3-game series with the Braves, I believe, this weekend. We play. Is it this week? Is it a 2-game series? I apologize that I'm no, it's a 3-game series. Sorry. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then we play the Padres. Phillies have a rough schedule coming up. That's going to be this is a true test. We're obviously in Houston. We're at the Braves, and then we come home to play the Padres. The Reds are good, and then we go to San Francisco, and then go to San Diego before the All-Star break. That's sucks. The last thing I kind of wanted to get to was, I don't know if anybody heard this, but they said it on the broadcast the other day for, I forget if it was the Apple, because it was all national games or whatever, if it was Apple or whatever. Hold on one sec. Donna says, I feel like they make moves on hoping to get some bombs like there used to be with Clemens and Sosa, but it's just not happening. Yeah, but Buddy Kennedy, I don't know. It's not like, Otto Kemp was doing really, really good in the minor leagues. Buddy Kennedy was hitting 200. Or no, excuse me. That's his career. Excuse me. This year, he was hitting 283 with 8 home runs and 40 RBIs. All right, fine. But again, at the same time, I'm like, why are you calling him up if you don't really need to? That's just my thing. You already had Weston Wilson up here. If it's a positional thing, fine. But again, Weston Wilson plays outfield. Buddy Kennedy plays third, second, and first. Otto Kemp was playing first. I don't know. He's played the majority of his games at third base. So I don't know. I really don't know. So apparently Jesus Luzardo is incredibly superstitious. This one really threw me. I mean, compared to the times that, like, he's the number 44 for a reason. Obviously, people have their favorite numbers. He loves 4s and 8s. That is the whole entire thing, that he loves 4s and 8s. So Luzardo began on this one day his pre-start routine 2 hours and 20 minutes before Friday's game at 6:45. This is not this past game, obviously. He walked onto the field at 6:16 and he made his first throw at 6:20. So it's like you have to add some of the numbers up. Like 6, 2, and 0 would be 8. 6 and 1 is 7. Let me see, 6, 16. It literally was like they were taking sick. It literally lost me. He said, I'm a numbers guy ever since I was younger. 4s and 8s have been good luck. 8 has always been a lucky number for me. In my first big league camp with the A's, they gave me the number 44. Never even asked me, just gave it to me. I was like, yeah, I'll never leave it. It's like, okay. So it said, so on the days Luzardo pitches, the time he begins his pre-start routine, the time he walks onto the field, and the time he makes his first throw must add up to 4 or 8. So the 2:20, 2 hours and 20 minutes before the games, there's 4. The 6:16 when he walked onto the field added up to 13. But then if you add 3 and 1, it's 4. He's like, I find a way that makes it work out for me. The 6:20 for 6:20 made it first throw up to, and I'm like, dude, you have to be working really hard to try and make that make sense. Like, it's just like, oh, if I want to add these together, if I divide it by this, but then I do this, I'm just like, wow. So yeah, that was really the what better way to end my episode than really weird superstitions. Anyway, so I think I'll make a prediction for the for this series. The Phillies right now, let's see. I'm sure it's 0-0. Top of the third, 0-0. How many strikeouts the Phillies have so far? Let's find out. 3 strikeouts. So I say Phillies take 2 of 3 and 2 of 3 from the Braves. So we go 4-2. Start adding the numbers. I say 4-2 because the number 4 is in there. And that's why. So that is all. I will leave it with that. Phillies go 4-2 on these next 6 games. And then I'll put a new prediction up for the Padres. But anyway, thank you everyone for hanging out. Mom, Donna, and let me see. I saw Evan checked in, gave me a like, and my grandmother. But thank you all for hanging out. Donna, I will keep adding up the numbers for you, and I will see you guys next week. Depending on the heat, maybe Scott will be back. But I will catch you guys later. Go Phils, and stay cool, everybody. See you.